I wanted to find a fairly priced buffet, and today I think I found one. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. Today I'm at the brand new Mikado Buffet, a buffet that is located in West Hempstead, New York, not too far away from New York City. It's a very reasonably priced buffet, but I'm interested in checking out their food. In this video, I will go through 5 rounds of this buffet, sampling items I like, and will show you what it's really like. And as usual, at the end of the video, I will tell you my star of the show, or in this case, the star of the buffet. There's a lot of food to be eaten. You don't want to miss it. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I'm in West Hempstead, Long Island. This is West Hempstead, New York. I heard that there was a brand new all-you-can-eat buffet that opened here very recently. This is October of 2025. Recently, the buffet opened about 2 months ago, and I'm going to go through this buffet. It's an Asian buffet. There's sushi, there's hibachi, and there's also a plethora of foods that are served off warming trays. There's a large parking lot right outside this restaurant, which makes it really convenient if you happen to be in the area. We just swung in here. This is a weekend at around 3 o'clock, so it's not super crowded now. You know, these are off hours. I wanted to come here when it wasn't that crowded. What I'm going to do today is that I'm going to try a variety of foods and let you know what the food is like. The first thing that we're going to look at is what they offer. So we'll swing around the buffet and I'll tell you what they have. Let's start with Mikado Salad Bar, which offers a variety of salads and dressings. Next, let's look at the Hot Seafood Buffet. In this section, we see hot food with many favorites such as beef and broccoli. There's also crab, fish fillets, fried rice, and veggies. Here's their fried food section with items like french fries, spring rolls, chicken wings, spare ribs, and mac and cheese. This buffet even has a big variety of steamed Asian buns, along with other items such as New Zealand mussels, bacon shrimp, fried donuts, pizza, and garlic bread. I went to the buffet and I picked up an entire variety of foods, and I'm really excited because I picked the foods that look the best, and I'm very selective when it comes to my buffet food. So what I've done is that I've chose the lo mein. Gonna give this a try. I chose, this is amazing. They had an entire flounder fish, and this is made in the Chinese style, which is the ginger and scallion over the soy sauce. So this was a whole fish. This should be really good. This is the sweet and sour ribs. This is the barbecue roast pork. These are mushrooms. This is beef and broccoli. And this one is the crayfish. And this one is the salt and pepper shrimp. We're gonna give all of these a try. Okay, the first dish that I'm going to try, and I'm really excited, is this plate right here. There's a ton of food here, and I picked what looked best in my estimation, and I'm gonna go right for the one that I really think that is the best, and that is the flounder, because it came as a whole fish. I'm gonna try this first. Look at this nice white, flaky, delicate fish. I love flounder, so let's try this. Yes, this is absolutely fresh. This is the kind of fish that you would get in a Chinese restaurant. The difference is that the soy sauce is a little sweeter than normal, but maybe it's done for the buffet crowd. But this fish is just as flaky and tender as what you would get in a Chinese restaurant. So definitely start off with that flounder. It's really good. The next dish I'm going to try is what you call diu yim ta, which is the salt and pepper shrimp. So I'm gonna peel this off because salt and pepper shrimp comes with a shell. So let's peel this off and give it a try. Okay, now I'm tasting the shell. The shell actually is a little different. There's a little sweetness to this. There is the salt and pepper flavor, but it's a little sweet. Let's try this. First, I'll speak to the freshness. That shrimp is nice and snappy, nice and fresh. I can tell just from the texture, no freezer burn or anything like that. This salt and pepper shrimp is what you should start with. Moving on, let's try the crayfish. This is the crayfish, crawfish. So what you do here is that you snap the tail off and then you eat what's in the tail. So I'm gonna break this off and see what it tastes like. The most important part of this crayfish will be the flavor of the crayfish. So let's give this a try. Once again, nice firm flesh is very good. I like the sauce. The sauce is actually slightly spicy, so it's very flavorful and fresh. Now these crayfish are normally frozen, which I expect, but the most important thing here is the flavor, and it's definitely there. The next item that I'm going to try is the lo mein. So let's see what this is like. Okay. The lo mein isn't really lo mein. It's actually pasta, like regular American pasta, which is fine because that pasta is actually seasoned with Asian sauces like soy sauce. And there's a slight pepper flavor to it, a black pepper flavor to it, so it's okay. Next, we're gonna try the sweet and sour ribs. The funny thing is that there doesn't appear to be any sauce on this, so I'm wondering why they call it sweet and sour rib. Let's try this. Okay, there's actually no sauce to this. What I can tell you is that the dry rub that they use to season this after deep frying is definitely adequate. It's salted correctly. So yes, I like this. Okay, moving on. We have 3 more items on my first plate. We're gonna try the mushrooms. Here we go. These are definitely white button mushrooms. Okay. Just regular soy sauce, not too salty, very mild flavor, a tiny bit of sweetness, which is perfectly fine, very good. And next, we're gonna have the buffet version of tasio, or roast pork, barbecue roast pork. So this is how they usually do it in a buffet. So it's gonna be more saucy. Basically, this barbecue roast pork was barbecued or roasted and is cut into chunks and is doused in a pan of sauce. Let's try this. This is interesting. It's not particularly tender. For some reason, there's like a ginger-like flavor to it. So it's almost like ginger roast pork. Ginger with some sweet soy sauce. That's interesting. Like I said, this is a buffet, so they're going to implement the Chinese type foods in a slightly different way. So far from this dish, the most Chinese thing that I'm eating is the pepper and salt shrimp and also the flounder. So those are definitely 2 great things to have. And finally, we're gonna go with my favorite Chinese American food, which is the beef and broccoli. Here's the beef and broccoli right here. Here's the beef. Looks like your standard flank steak. Let's try this. Nice and tenderized, and also a strong flavor of pepper. Not bad. Let's try the broccoli. Nice, crisp and crunchy. Delicious. So definitely for my first plate, the highlight of this plate is definitely that flounder and the shrimp. So I feel like I've gotten off to a very good start. In this section, we see the raw seafood buffet. They do have oysters and clams. Now, when you come to a buffet, you really have to try the seafood. What better way to begin than to go to the raw bar? So I got a bunch of oysters here. There's also some cooked snails. There's a cooked New Zealand mussel. And they only had 1 raw clam, so I hope this is fresh, but this is raw. Here's the sauce, the cocktail sauce, and here's some shrimp. So we're gonna give this entire plate a try and see what it's like. Okay, the second platter that I have is from the raw bar. So the raw bar has all these nice looking oysters. So we're gonna give the oysters a try. That's the first thing that we're gonna try. We have the sauce, the cocktail sauce. I'm gonna dip the oysters into this cocktail sauce and give that a try. So here goes. Okay, oysters definitely fresh. There's no smell to them. Wow, there's that strong briny oyster. Actually, this oyster has a very strong salty flavor to it, which is really, really pleasant. I'm gonna try another one, but this time I'm gonna try an even bigger one. Let's try it on this one, just to confirm that I got an a good one. So let's try it. Now, I have to say that these oysters are on the small side, but the thing is that they're all fresh. You can taste it by the way they bite. Next, we're gonna try the clams. This was the only clam that was available. I'm hoping that they'll fill it up later on as I go along. But here's the clam, and here goes. Once again, not the largest clams, but they're fresh. That's the most important thing. And then finally, we have the New Zealand clams, actually the New Zealand mussels. What we want to do here is that we want to make sure that these New Zealand mussels, even though they're frozen because they're from New Zealand, they're gonna taste good. So let's try it with some of that sauce, and here goes. That New Zealand mussel, I give a 9 out of 10. The reason why I say that is because usually when you have New Zealand mussels in America, it's not gonna taste fresh, but for some reason, this particular mussel has this crunch and snap to it. When you have New Zealand mussels in America, at most restaurants, when you bite into it, it's gonna have like a gritty consistency to it. This one actually has a snap. So I don't know what they did to this, but this tastes almost fresh, like right out of the ocean. So I don't know what brand they bought. This is a very good New Zealand mussel, that's for sure. And then we have 2 more items. Here we have the snails. They call it snails. This is actually pretty big. It's not the black Chinese snails. I'm gonna try to rip it out of its shell. So here goes. Wow, it comes right out. It's perfect. And then you have the little plug on the top over here. So I'm not gonna eat that part. I'm gonna, once again, dip it into my sauce. So here it goes. Okay, what I taste, and I just spit off the top part, because this part seems to be too hard to be eaten. I just spit off the end part. What I can taste is that they marinated the snail in some kind of sweet soy sauce. So actually it tastes pretty sweet, at least the meat that I've had. Let me double confirm that and eat one without any sauce. So here goes. I just ripped it out. This is what it looks like. Okay. Yes, this particular snail is definitely not delicate. When you bite into it, there's a crunch to it, but it's not hard to bite. The only part that's hard to bite is the part that's near the tip of the snail. So I just discard that. But yeah, that's more than decent. Next, we're gonna try the shrimp. Now this is what they consider the shrimp cocktail. This is basically shell on, and also they've removed the vein on the snail. I'm glad that they did that. So this should be a nice clean snail. Let's give that a try. I removed everything, and here goes. Right into the cocktail sauce. Okay, very decent. I wouldn't say it's the greatest shrimp cocktail. At the very least, it's fresh. I would give that a 7 out of 10. So not bad. After trying this second dish, I'm pretty satisfied. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go for plate number 3, plate number 4, and then some dessert, maybe some soup too. So keep watching. Here's plate number 3. There's a whole bunch of other items that I wanted to get at the buffet. So here we go. We have some fried string beans. We have crab rangoon. We have the mai fun, which is the rice noodles. We have the walnut shrimp. We have garlic shrimp, which are these 2 small ones. We have fried chicken wings. We have a fried dumpling. And then we have General Tso's chicken. We have 2 fried oysters. And then we have some barbecued ribs. So we're gonna give this a try and let you know what it's like. Okay, the next plate of food is here. This is plate number 3. So we're gonna go through the entire buffet, the items I really love. So what I'm gonna do first is that I'm gonna try the honey walnut shrimp, and this is what it looks like. Look how big the shrimp is. Let's see if this stacks up to what you would find at a Cantonese restaurant. Okay, this is interesting. This appears to be a cut up shrimp, not a whole shrimp. There appears to be a lot of batter in this. I mean, it does have the correct flavor, but to me, there's a little too much batter in this. It's not what I would really enjoy. I wish it was a whole shrimp. I mean, when I initially looked at it, it looked like a whole shrimp, but it wasn't. Let's move on and try the garlic shrimp. This garlic shrimp has this interesting red glaze to it. Let's try this. Very fresh. The garlic shrimp actually tastes like shrimp scampi. It has this really strong buttery flavor. There's no spice to it. I don't exactly know what the red stuff is. Actually, I take that back. I feel a little more spice in that garlic shrimp. There's a little heat to it, but the main flavor of that shrimp is the butter. So let's move on. We're gonna try the crab rangoon. Now the crab rangoon looks like this. Looks like a teeny tiny wonton. So let's bite into this and see what it's like. Crab rangoon is a winner. You know why? Because a lot of places, they make the crab rangoon with the thick egg wonton wrapper. Actually, the egg roll wrapper. This is made, I believe, with a wonton wrapper. So it's nice, light, and delicate. And that cream cheese has a little sweetness to it. It is actually pretty delicious for a Chinese-American type of dish. I would have more than one of these. Next, I'm going to try the fried oysters. The fried oysters are a bit small, as you can see. I like the color of it. It's nice and golden brown. Let's try this. That's interesting. Once again, it's definitely oyster, but I think the batter is a little bit too thick. It's not crispy. I wish that the batter was more of a cornstarch batter. It doesn't have that crispiness that I would like. So yeah, I mean, it's okay for food, but it's not as crispy as I would like. Next, we're gonna try the fried dumpling. They did not say what's inside this dumpling. So this looks like an oversized Chinese dumpling. Let's bite into it and see what's in here. Okay, this one I really don't like. I mean, it's been sitting in the pan, but this would have been served better if it were boiled, and that's it. There's a bit of pork on the inside. Somehow this isn't my cup of tea. Next, we have the General Tso's chicken. Now this General Tso's chicken actually looks really good. There's a nice breading on it. It has that nice glaze on it. Let's see if it tastes like a General Tso's chicken. Now, the amazing part of this General Tso's chicken is that usually at a buffet, they tend to over sweeten this. This actually has more sour to it than it does the sweet part to it. So this is more authentic than most places. So I actually enjoy this. And the breading isn't overwhelming, as you can see. Very good job. Next, we have the string beans. Now this is the Chinese style string beans. Let's try this. Very good. Very flavorful. I wouldn't say that they deep fried it, but they stir fried it very well. It tastes very Chinese. Has that nice salt to it, a little bit of garlic in it. Very flavorful, I like that. Next, we're gonna try the spare ribs. These are the barbecued spare ribs. Let's try it. Okay. I mean, these have been sitting in the pan for a little bit, so it's a little dry. You know, I can imagine these being better if it just came out of the kitchen, but I mean, they're decent. The flavor is decent, but they definitely don't taste like a Chinese roast meats type of spare rib. The seasoning is a bit different. If you like ribs, spare ribs, this is passable. And finally, I have one of my favorite dishes, which is the fried chicken, the Chinese restaurant fast food style fried chicken. This is the flat, and let's try this. This is exactly what you would get in an American Chinese fast food restaurant. This type of chicken, seasoned very well. Although I would say a little more salt is in call, but still is almost there. It's very flavorful, not bad. Finally, I'm going to try the mai fan. Now this is what it looks like. It looks like Chinese mai fan, like the amoy mai fan. So let's try this. Okay, it tastes like an ordinary mai fan. I don't think there's any ham in it to give it the savory flavor, but it's okay. I mean, you just have that with the protein, so it's not bad at all. I want to make an observation about this restaurant. It's relatively new. So the decor in the restaurant is very fresh, very modern, and I just like the newness of this atmosphere. Also, it's very bright and happy. There are lots of whites and oranges in the decor in here. So yeah, I really enjoy the way things look. And it's also very spacious. There are lots of places to sit in various configurations. Here's their soup section. We have hot and sour soup, clam chowder, seafood soup, and egg drop soup. There are 4 kinds of soups at the soup station. One of the soups is actually a clam chowder, So I don't know if this is actually New England clam chowder. I'm gonna give it a try and let you know what it tastes like. You know, I love New England clam chowder, and if I can find it at any buffet, I'm going to drink it. So it's served in this little bowl that looks like a ladle. It's very cute. And it's also branded Mikado Buffet. It seems like Mikado Buffet has a lot of items, and this is one of the soups that I had to try. So let's give this a try. It's a nice white New England clam chowder looking type of soup. So here goes. Yes, it's definitely a New England clam chowder. It has tiny, tiny, tiny clams chopped into it. There's also a peppery flavor to it, like a black pepper flavor to it, which is good. Has tiny little vegetables in it, which appear to be celery. The one thing that I can tell you about this clam chowder is that it's not like the genuine New England clam chowder, because New England clam chowders are usually made with a heavy cream. So this one has more of a water base and a thickener added to it, I can tell. But you know what? The flavor is still seafoody. It's still satisfyingly thick. So this is, yeah, a okay New England clam chowder. I mean, if you really needed to have clam chowder, this would do in a pinch. Let's explore the sushi section of the buffet. Here you'll see a selection of items such as edamame, seaweed, sashimi, and sushi. Here we see some of their rolls. Okay, I finally had the chance for plate number 4 to go to the sushi bar, and these are the items that I have. Okay, this looks like a spicy salmon roll. This one is a tuna avocado. This is a tuna roll. This is an eel roll. This is an eel sushi, tuna sushi. This appears to be some kind of whitefish, maybe a red snapper sushi, and this is a salmon sushi. And there's also a variety of sashimi, which is this tuna, this salmon, and also this whitefish. It looks like escalar, which is the white tuna. And then you have the ginger and the soy sauce with the wasabi. Now I'm ready for my 4th plate of food. And now the 4th plate of food is the sushi. Now look at all this. I have at least 10 items of sushi on this plate. So yeah, we're showing up at this buffet at around like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekend. The stuff might not be circulating as fast, but let's give it a try, you know, see what things are like. So the first thing that I'm going to try is the tuna sushi. So let's take a look, and I'll dip it into the soy sauce and see what the quality is like. Okay. One thing I appreciate about this sushi is that they didn't cut it paper thin. Sometimes they cut it paper thin and put it over a giant ball of rice. The rice is actually pretty big, so I would prefer a little less. But at least the tuna is not paper thin, which I've seen other places do. This is okay with me. The tuna is just basic quality. There's not any special cut, and it's just adequate. It's ordinary sushi tuna, which is to be expected. Let's move on to the eel. Now I'm going to try the eel roll. This is what it looks like. Let's try this. The eel, once again, is a decent quality. Isn't the best eel. It does have that nice sweet sauce on top. The rice in the roll isn't overwhelming. Let's move on to what appears to be the salmon, spicy salmon roll. Let's try this. So here goes. Okay, that's definitely a salmon tartare, but a really pasty salmon tartare. It has the spiciness. Once again, an ordinary tasting spicy salmon. Nothing super special. Let's move on. So far, everything has been ordinary, but that doesn't mean that it's not good, but it's ordinary, which is to be expected at a buffet. Here's some sweet shrimp. I was really surprised to find these because normally you don't find these at a sushi buffet or a regular Asian buffet. So let's try this. Dip it into the sauce. Yes, nice and fresh. I really like that. I give them a lot of credit for providing that, because once again, this is not ordinarily found at a buffet. The next one that I'm going to try is the salmon sashimi. Now let's give this a try. I'm not going to try the salmon sushi because I think the most important thing is to talk about the sashimi or the salmon quality. So here goes. Okay. Now, not to say that I like the quality of the salmon better than the tuna, because the salmon actually has more of that seafood fish flavor. I enjoy that. I would definitely choose the salmon over the tuna. Next we have the white tuna or the escolar. Let's try this. It tastes just like escolar. Nice greasy flavor. Nice greasy texture to it. Nice chewiness to that. Definitely tastes fresh. Not bad. Next, we're going to try the tuna and avocado roll. This is what it looks like. Let's try this. Into the soy sauce. Okay. That's basically the same tuna that we had before. Nothing too special about it, but once again, all we are asking for is for it to be fresh. And so far, everything on this sushi plate has been fresh. I can't complain about this. This isn't bad at all. I would highly recommend this if you only want to eat sushi.
There's a hibachi section to this buffet where you could choose your own ingredients to make a tasty stir fry. Finally, there's a noodle section. Let's take a look at the desserts. Here you'll find a set of cold desserts such as puddings and jello. There's also a section with cakes and cookies. Finally, there's a frozen treat section containing ice cream, water ices, and ice cream novelty items.
For dessert, the Mikado Buffet offers a wide variety of frozen treats. So they have things like an ice cream sandwich. They have items like, now this came as a huge surprise. They have ices, like water ices. I can't believe it. And these are Hershey's branded water ices, which I've never had in my life. I think I had mentioned in other videos that this is one of my favorite items all time, water ice. Next we have some banana pudding, and then we have some flan. In addition to these water ices, there's also a variety of Hershey's ice cream cups. Basically things like mint. There's also vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. So yeah, what's amazing about this buffet is that there's a huge variety of frozen treats. There are also ice bars too. So yeah, we're gonna give this a try and let you know what it's like. The next item that I'm going to try is the banana pudding. Here goes. Banana pudding tastes exactly what you would get in those box puddings. It has a banana flavor, definitely an artificial flavor, so not the best. Next we have the flan. So let's see what the flan tastes like. This is what the flan looks like. There isn't that little caramelly part of it, so this should be a very dairy forward type of flan. It's interesting. It tastes more like a jelly than a flan. The texture isn't very milky at all. So yeah, interesting texture. Okay, we're gonna try all these frozen treats. Now we're gonna start off with the Hershey's Mighty Mini ice cream sandwich. So let's give this a try. And peel this open. Here we go. This is nice and frozen, nice and hard. Is not under frozen, so let's try it. Okay. The Hershey's brand, what seems to me, is that has a pretty thick sandwich part of the ice cream. So that's pretty dominant. There's not a ton of ice cream in this, but it's good. It's tasty and it's very traditional tasting. Not bad. The next item that I'm going to try, it's a dessert item, and this is the lemon ice. Now, I've never tried Hershey's lemon ice before. I'm really excited. I'm used to the New York brands like Marino's, Geno's, things like that. So this is what it looks like. Let's see what it's like. I'm a stickler to certain things about water ice. Let's try this. As I dig into this, I'm not scraping it, so I'm a little skeptical. Okay, this is an interesting hybrid. is not extremely watery, but it's not like the Luigi's ices that you get at the supermarket. It's not full of gums and stuff. This is somewhere in the middle. There's a little bit of that creamy texture, but it's also not totally water ice. It's somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's decent. In fact, the more I eat it, the more I think that it's almost like a sherbet. Yeah, this is a decent flavor. I do taste the lemon, but my preference is still the Marino's type, which is more watery. But this is okay. And besides, you can eat as many of these as you want. The next item I'm going to try, and this is the last water ice, is the orange ice. So let's try this. I'm going to want to know if the texture is similar. So when I look at this, this almost looks like a sherbet, but it's marketed as an orange ice. So let's try this. Okay. This tastes like a St. Joseph's aspirin. Now, that's the flavor, but hey, you know, that's the way that they make it here. So yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, you know, it's still ice, but it's not anything like a Marino's ice or a pure water ice, but this is passable. And now's the time for your favorite part of the show. Ta-da! The star of the show. And today, the star of the show is very clear-cut because I am choosing the thing that was the most fresh, the most Chinese. So the thing that I chose was the steamed flounder. Now that fish was steamed whole. It was sitting in that warming tray and it was so fresh. There was so much meat in there. White, juicy, flaky meat. That was the best. So out of all the dishes, I mean, there were 2 or 3 that I really liked as well, but that fish, the freshness could beat everything else. So if you come here, that should be the first thing that hits your plate. Ah, what a meal. And I'm so glad that I came to this buffet. The Mikado Buffet is located in West Hempstead, New York. And there's a big parking lot here, so you could just drive into the parking lot and go into this restaurant. There are other shopping options that are right next to this restaurant. In fact, it's in a shopping center, so everything should be nice and cool. What I know about the price is that it's only $22.99 for an adult. It's $12.99 for a child, so the child has to be 10 and under. With all the options that they have here, I think it's a decently priced buffet, especially in New York City and its environs, because you know things tend to be a little more expensive the closer you get to the city. So yeah, this is a pretty good option if you want to have all you can eat. What I can say is that there were a few standout dishes here. Most of all, the flounder. I love the salt and pepper shrimp. I love those mussels. I love the raw bar. So there are a lot of good options to be had here. Some better, some worse, but you know, that's the way it's gonna be at any buffet that you go to. What I would recommend is that you come here, you can enjoy the nice, modern, clean atmosphere of this restaurant and not pay too much. I feel the price is pretty fair. So if you have a chance to be down here, if you happen to be in this neighborhood, this is definitely a good option. Thanks for watching the Minute Review Show. Now, the Minute Review Show has hit over 200 videos in the 2 years that I've had this channel up. So please watch another video. I do videos all over New York City and Long Island and Queens. So check it out. I'm sure you'll find some place interesting to eat. And also, if you'd like to support the channel, please buy me a coffee. The link is right over here. And yeah, I would greatly appreciate it. So until next time, I will see you again in the next video. The final bill before tip is $67.31.